Shannon, thanks so much. Judge Andrew Napolitano was also listening in. He actually listened to all of the recordings. And you said what was really interesting was normally you just read the briefings because they don't offer these audio things all the time, right?
Right.
And you said that the reading of the transcript and the hearing of the argument gave you two different impressions.
Yes, it did. If you listened to the tape of the argument, you heard the Solicitor General of the United States, a very fine lawyer, nevertheless was timid, tentative, and not persuasive. And then you heard the lawyer for the states and the individuals challenging the law, who is the former Solicitor General of the United States, Paul Clement. And he was authoritative and compelling and almost commanding. You also heard Justice Kennedy's questions, and I agree with the analysis that Shannon gave. She was in the courtroom.
Right. Now, Justice Kennedy is the key here. If there's a swing, it's probably Justice Kennedy, and we got signals.
Yes. We know that the four liberal justices have indicated from their questionings that they are likely in favor of this. We know that the four conservatives, although Justice Thomas customarily doesn't ask any questions that didn't today, the other three made their feelings pretty well known. So the key vote is Justice Kennedy. He commenced his questioning of the Solicitor General, the lawyer representing the government, as a prosecutor would go after the other side's witness. He was very, very sharp and very clear in his concern. You want to change the fundamental relationship of the individual to the federal government. You can't do it by simple legislation. You need a constitutional amendment. I'm extrapolating. These are not his words. For those of us who watch these things, if we're going to predict which way this goes from what they say in the courtroom, this is a very bad day for the government. On the other hand, justices don't always indicate how they're going to vote from their questions. Sometimes they even want to throw people off. Sometimes they just want to test the lawyer's knowledge of the case, or they have some intellectual or academic concerns of their own. But if Justice Kennedy was truly revealing the way he sounded in his questioning today, it's a bad day for the government on the core aspect of this case.
All right, I'm almost out of time, but after we decide whether the mandate is okay, whether the mandate is constitutional, then they move on to the next phase, which is the rest of the law.
The rest, well, what remains for oral argument tomorrow, Shep, is what control the Congress has over the states. The Congress basically said to all 50 states, raise your taxes and spend the taxes the way we tell you. So tomorrow you're going to hear from some state attorneys general saying why the Congress doesn't have the authority to do this. And, of course, they're going to make that argument tomorrow before we know how the court votes on the individual mandate. Then they'll take a straw vote amongst the 9 of them at noon tomorrow. We'll never know what that straw vote is until the opinion comes out in June.
Judge